Welcome guys to another video. In this video I'm going to talk to you about a few common questions that I've noticed when people start using the MEV Sniper bot. The MEV Sniper bot, as you know, for MEV DAO, it's a very powerful tool that allows you to snipe tokens that can do a 10x, 5x, 2x or 100x, meaning you put $100, you make 1,000 or 700. It depends on the token. Now you can lose all of that money if you are not careful, if you snipe tokens that aren't, safe or have some red flags that shouldn't be there. But today's video is about how to set it up and a few common questions that I've noticed that people ask me about the bot, because it's a bit confusing. It's a complicated tool that naturally creates some confusion when you set it up, the bot. So once you subscribe to the MEV Premium subscription, you can go to the settings here and you see a lot of things. So I will walk through the different settings and I will show you exactly what I mean and how to do everything here. So first you go and create a wallet. If you don't have one, you need to create one, of course, and store the private key. The private key will be shown to you and the private key needs to be stored somewhere safe. Maybe you write it in a paper, or you store it in a file, or you add it to MetaMask. That's up to you. At the end of the day, it's just for the purpose of sniping. This is the wallet where you will send Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain BNB so that you can snipe tokens. The reason we do this is because that way you can keep your natural account separated from this account for sniping purposes, and that's a much more secure system. Now, when it comes to connecting your wallet, the purpose of this button here is not to use your wallet for sniping. The only reason this is here is so that you can connect your wallet and add funds. Right here, provide funds. This is just a shortcut so that you can add Ether or BNB to the wallet that you've created here for using the sniper. But naturally, you don't need to use this button. Once you add funds to your account here, you're good to go. So first you select Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain. As you can see, when you click on it, a few things change here, and that is the signature and the contract to watch. Now, by default, the signature is set to at liquidity ETH, as you can see here, at liquidity ETH. That is the function that will be executed when someone adds liquidity on Uniswap v2. And this hexadecimal string text is representing that function. It's a way for Ethereum to understand that function. This is a signature. So when you execute this function, Ethereum, the virtual machine, will detect the function at signature at liquidity ETH, which is the one that executes the liquidity. I know it's confusing, but if you have to watch it again, that will make more sense. The contract to watch, this is the function, the contract, the smart contract that the sniper will pay attention to. So in this case, it's set up to the Uniswap v2. And when this contract, the router, the Uniswap v2 router, this address, when that smart contract executes the function, this one, at liquidity ETH, then the sniper will activate and buy the token that you specify here. Let me repeat that. You set up the contract to watch, which is the contract that the sniper bot will constantly pay attention to, and the moment the function mentioned here in the signature is detected, that function will activate the sniper and will make the sniper buy tokens here, the token that you mentioned here. Now that's how it works. Basically, the sniper waits for transactions, and once it detects the signature for this contract, then it makes the purchase. Now when you click on Binance, it changes to this function and this one. This one is at liquidity without the ETH part. Here the function is called at liquidity ETH, but this function represents, if you go to 4byte, hold up, 4byte directory, you can copy the signature here and it will show you exactly which function it is executing. In this case, it's called @liquidity. And this function is different from @liquidity ETH because for Binance Smart Chain, the main router, the main DEX router is PancakeSwap. PancakeSwap is not Uniswap, it's PancakeSwap on Binance Smart Chain. And PancakeSwap doesn't use the @signature @liquidity ETH function. They usually use this function @liquidity. And this contract is the PancakeSwap router for Binance Smart Chain. This is the main smart contract for making swaps on on Binance Smart Chain. So that's why it's updated, because on Ethereum you use Uniswap v2 and on Binance Smart Chain you use PancakeSwap. The function signature is updated accordingly to the network, but you can change these values. You can set up another contract that you may want to pay attention to and another function to execute. That's up to you. This tool is very capable. You can use it for sniping any type of, maybe your token is releasing on SushiSwap on Ethereum. Then you select Ethereum, you copy the SushiSwap router and the function that activates the liquidity or enables trading, you put it there in the signature. Hope that's clear. Now these are a few common questions. What signature should I use? Well, the signature is the one that activates trading. For some tokens there's a function called enable trading. For others it's finalize. For others is @liquidity. That depends on the pre-sale you're doing. So if you go to PinkSell, you will realize that when a pre-sale ends on PinkSell, what happens is a function called finalize is executed. Let's wait for this to load. And the function finalize is executed. Once that function is executed, people can buy and trade the token that is sold. On other pre-sales, maybe you're using another website. Maybe you're sniping tokens directly from the Uniswap router. Then you need to wait for the @liquidity or enable trading depending on the token that you want to snipe. That's why it's very important to go to the token address, click on that, and take a look at the methods, the functions that are inside the token. Here, if you go to the contract, sometimes it's not verified, so if you want, you can risk it, or most times you simply ignore it. When a contract is not verified, you won't see these functions, basically because someone didn't tell you that these functions are inside the contract. But in this case, the bull token is verified, so that therefore we can read the functions that are available. And we go to the right contract, because these are the functions that will be executed, that will update the state of the contract. In this case, you see enable trading. This function is very important. This function, once it is activated, then is when you can trade. When this function is activated, that's when the bull token is tradable. Before that, even if you add liquidity on Uniswap, even if you finalize the pre-sale, you won't be able to buy the token until the owners activate this function. Because if you try, you can try, but the function will fail, the purchase will fail. This is to prevent snipers. Enable trading is specifically designed to prevent snipers. So if you see this function, you go to the read contract and you take a look at the variables here. These are the variables, and you search for something called is trading enabled or something similar. Let me take a look at this. Is trading enabled? There you go. In this case, it is false. So if you were to snipe this token, the bull token, you would need to take the function enable trading, copy the signature, which is right here, and put it into the sniper, enable trading, because this will allow the sniper to watch that function and execute the snipe, which is the purchase, before anyone else. Hope that's clear. I know it's confusing, so let's repeat it. Rewatch it again if you need it, so that it's more clear. Now on PinkSell, in particular, there is the pre-sale address. This is the contract that manages the funds where you send your Ether, your BNB, and they give you back tokens. This is the pre-sale contract, but this contract in particular is not verified. It is never verified. The pre-sale address on PinkSell is never verified. So how do you snipe this if you don't know which function is executed when a PinkSell is finalized? Because this pre-sale contract, this is the one that determines when a pre-sale is finalized, when you can begin trading a token, when you can purchase it. So how do you do that? Well, I've researched many different tokens and pre-sales. If you go to the ended list, you can go to any token and go to the pre-sale address here. Now you see the transactions. You can click on here and you see all of these claims. This is people taking the tokens for themselves, for their wallets. And this here is the function finalize. This is the function that once it is executed, people can claim and they can trade the token. Most times, sometimes there is the enable trading function that I showed you, and that function will stop people from buying until it is activated. So you need to snipe that function, the enable trading. In this case, on most cases on PinkSell, you will look for the finalize function. That is the function that is activated for starting trading. You see, this is the signature. In fact, it is shown here. If you go here, the finalize function has this signature. So if you want to snipe PinkSell contracts, you gotta pay attention to the finalize signature and use it for the settings here. And the contract to watch must be the pre-sale address. This is the contract. You want to watch for that. I know it may be confusing, but once you do it once or twice, you will begin to understand how this works. Now, the block number to sell, people don't know when to sell their tokens. Let's say you sniped a token that you like. When do you sell it? Well, the block number to sell determines when you sell it. If you set it to 10, the sniper will wait for 10 tokens after the snipe was executed, and then it will sell it automatically for you. But normally I say to people, set it to 100 to 1,000. If you have a lot of trust in a project and you see that it may do well, you want to hold it for longer. You buy it, you snipe it, and then you hold it for 1,000 blocks. That is about, I don't know, maybe 100 minutes. I'm not sure exactly how much, but 1,000 blocks, it's each block is 12 seconds, so you can make the calculations there. Why do you want to set to what do you want to wait to until 1,000 blocks have passed? Because that's when you give time for the token to rise in value. All tokens need time to grow in the value, and some more than others. So that's why you need to have a value between 100 or 1,000. Now, if you want to snipe a token and you don't trust the project very much, you can set it to maybe 10 blocks, which means after sniping, you will wait a few seconds and then sell it. In fact, 10 blocks is about 1 or 2 minutes. I don't know exactly. So yeah, it depends on your trust. I usually do 1,000 or 100. That's a good, number. Do you have to keep the pre-sale, the website open for the bot to work? Now, some people think this website is the one that executes the snipe, but the bot itself runs on the cloud, on a server, which means everything, all the settings here, they go to a server and the sniper itself is executed, which means you don't need to keep the website open. Once you click on start sniping now, the bot will start on the server. You can close the website, you can turn off your computer. The bot will continue working and sniping tokens for you with the settings that you've chosen, of course. So that's a very important point and one of the benefits, because some snipers need to keep the computer active and open. In this case, maybe that we don't need to do that. For what pre-sales can it be used? Well, like I said, it can be used for any pre-sale as long as you know the settings. If you want to, usually people do PinkSells because it's the largest a launchpad on Ethereum and maybe another chains. So that's why people use it for that one, but you can use it for any type of pre-sale. Maybe the token you're buying, the token that you're interested in, only has a Telegram and they are launching that token there without a website or anything. In that case, you may want to watch for the liquidity event, which is at liquidity ETH. The functions are here. That means you will buy as soon as the liquidity is added. But this depends on the contract, on the token contract. You need to analyze it. You need to see the functions that are there and see if there is the enable trading function or a similar one. That is the function that will activate the trading after the liquidity is added. If that function is not there, you simply watch for the liquidity being added and then you snipe it. But it depends on the token. You can use it for any pre-sale and other purposes. Maybe you want to execute a function after a specific time. It depends. So what's a good bribe amount? Some people are unsure about what's a good bribe. Well, on Binance Smart Chain, you usually set it to 0.1 or 0.5. That should be enough to cover the bribe. But of course, the more bribe you give, let's say 10 BNB, that will increase the chances of you being the first buyer. The more bribe you give, the more likely you are to be the first buyer and get the better position, which allows you to grow more in your token holdings. For Ethereum, again, you can do 1 Ethereum. If you don't want to risk much, you can do 0.05 Ethereum or maybe 0.05, but a good bribe amount will be 0.05. That's just a standard if you don't know what to set. Now, let's say you really want the token, so you do 0.5. That will guarantee you, will increase the chances of you landing on the first block. But again, the bribe will only be used if your position is in the first block, meaning you front run the liquidity or the function that activates trading. The bribe will only be used if you land on the first position. You know what that means? Otherwise, it will use regular gas, whatever gas it's needed, as much as needed. It won't exceed the amount that you give it. So yeah, that's a good bribe amount, 0.05 as a general rule, or if you really want it, 0.5 or maybe 1 Ether if you want to be the first buyer. Now, another thing I forgot to mention is that for Ethereum, you need to add ETH here. But if you choose Binance Smart Chain, you need to add BNB. You know, BNB is the currency used for gas on Binance. It's not Ethereum. It's the BNB token. You need to add the coin to this wallet if you want to use that, if you want to snipe Binance Smart Chain pre-sales. And how does it work for Binance Smart Chain compared to Ethereum? Just like I said just a few seconds before, you gotta add BNB and Ethereum if you want to use it for both chains, and the bot will check if you have enough funds for the settings you've used. So if you want to snipe Binance Smart Chain tokens, you need to send BNB to the wallet you've created. Now this doesn't update, it's a bug, but you can send from another wallet, or you can use this button to provide funds to the wallet that you've created. But that's up to you. It really doesn't matter. As long as this wallet has the funds, it will work. What are the pre-filled values? Well, like I said, these values, the pre-filled values, are for the different variations on Ethereum and Binance. On Ethereum, it's Uniswap v2. Here on Binance, it's Pixel. The PancakeSwap router. So that's about it. If you want to use the sniper bot, I made a tutorial before this. It's right here. If you subscribe, you will see it. It's on my YouTube channel also. But this is a more explanatory video on how to set it up. Now, before the recent updates, you would see the logs here, but right now you don't see the logs once you start the bot. You simply see this. This means the bot is active. In this case, it is stopped. But if it were active, it would show that there. So yeah, that's how you know the bot is working. Even if you close the page, even if you close the computer, the bot continues to work in the backend. So hope that has been helpful, and let me know if you want to know more. I've almost sniped a token. I missed it because I didn't pay attention to it, but there was a token that did 7x. The highest number was 12x, which means you put $100, you make 1,200 bucks. That's the potential of a sniper. You can make a lot of money if you are familiar with the tokens. Now, another last point I want to mention, a bonus, is that here you see a ton of tokens, a ton of pre-sales. And the most important aspect of a good snipe is selecting which tokens to snipe. From all of these tokens, which one do you think has the largest, the highest potential of being a winner, of growing, and not just dropping in value as soon as it is released? Well, that comes from intuition. What you gotta do in order for you to learn which tokens are good to snipe, you open the bot, all the tokens that you see here, you go to Dex View, you search for sales that have ended, you go to Dex View and you copy the token address. What you do is you analyze the performance of that particular token. You see here, this token did a 4x. That means that token will be a good snipe had you done it. So then you gotta look at the things that make it a good snipe. You have all these variables, the fact that it's a wait list, the amount that is offered, the badges, the descriptions, the community, all of these things, the contributors, the token metrics, all of these things you need to understand and pay attention to when it comes to learning which tokens are worthwhile. Some tokens, well, the majority of them, as soon as they are released, they drop in value and they go to zero. That's because people, maybe they don't believe in the token or whatever, but most tokens are like that. Let's take a look at another to show you what I mean. In this case, this one. That this is a Chinese token. Most tokens, like I said, drop in value sharply. In this case, it did a 6x, which means you could have made money, a lot of money, had you sniped and sold fast, but now it's dropping and you would have lost half of your snipe amount. So that's why the variables that I've explained to you are so important, specifically the block number to sell, because this will determine when you sell. Maybe 100 blocks will give you a 3x from the high, but maybe a 1000x makes you sell right here at the end when the price is low already. It really depends on you. You gotta take a look at the time it takes for this to grow, and when it drops, what factors, how long it takes to drop, how long it takes to grow and reach the all-time high. So these are the things that you gotta do on your own. I cannot provide you those things because it's that's where the risk factor comes in, and where you can make a lot of money, because you learn from the previous pre-sales and see which ones are doing well and which ones aren't, and see which factors are determining their success. So hope this has been helpful, and make sure to subscribe, join my email list, join MEV DAO, my Telegram group, and talk to you soon. Subscribe right now.